Welcome to
Knit One, Heart Two. Episode 4.
Episode 4. I'm Sheila, also known as Sheila D37 on Ravelry.
And I'm Wendy, Penny Winnie on Ravelry, and Penny Winnie 2 on Spark People, for anybody out there who's trying to lose weight.
So, welcome to those who are coming back and watching our episode. Welcome to those who are just coming to watch us for the first time. We have, thank you, we have some thank yous and shout outs we'd like to share. So I'm reading from my handy-dandy notebook.
Before you start, I want to say one thing. I had a crap week. I had a really crap week. In the big picture of things, it was not, like nobody died or anything like that, but I had to go have my annual echocardiogram, and the technician was a little weird and saying things like, how do you feel this year compared to last year, which freaked me out. And I had to go to the dentist where I found out I need a freaking crown on my tooth. And I've just been feeling crappy, and all the comments and shout outs that we got this week, that totally made my week. So thank you. I just wanted to say that. Thank you so much. You go.
Thank you. We really do appreciate them all. We mean that from our bottom of our little hearts. That was not planned, by the way. So the first one we're going to shout out to was a comment on our blog, JD from Twisted Strands, which I love her podcast.
Oh, me too.
It's Twisted Strands with 2 S's, I believe at blogspot.com.
She can never get that right.
No, I can't. Patty she has her own blog, pattyknits-3boys.blogspot. Mary Gale from Exchange Student in Fiberland. Watch her.
A good one too.
She's really cute. She's so funny. Exchange Student from Fiberland is a new knitter who's podcasting. So she's, as in if she's an exchange student in another country. She was an exchange student in Australia. She goes, we speak the same language, but I'm still not understanding.
Welcome to the dark side.
Yeah. Susie of Susie Knits. She's got a good podcast. She's up in Canada. And Dido.
Or Dido.
D-I-D-O. Sorry if we're pronouncing it. She's got a blog, Dido or didomum.blogspot.com, where I like what she says. She knits. She's not a knitter. She doesn't like to be labeled.
Okay.
Which, fair enough.
All right.
How many times? So that was on the blog, and we appreciate it. And from iTunes, Art Girl, and again, Dido or Dido Mum, we appreciate that.
Star ratings are great, guys.
Star ratings are great.
Even
Comments
bad
are
ones.
even better.
Yes.
And don't, not just for us, but for all video podcasts or podcasts that you either watch or listen. And any of the video podcasts or podcasts that we listen to are going to be on the sidebar on our blog.
Yeah, we just put up a section because we do a lot of the video and podcasts and blogs.
Yes. I read a couple.
I read a lot of knitting blogs.
Yeah. We'd also like to say thank you to Lisa, a.k.a. Fiber Nymph on Ravelry, also 90% Knitting, for putting us on hers, her little sidebar. And Bitchin' Becky on Plurk from Addicted to Yarn.
We love your name, Becky.
And yeah, we do. And a big thanks to Carla, who is the moderator of knittingpodcast.blogspot.com, also one-to-one on Ravelry. If you have any questions on what podcasts are out there in the knitting world, go to knittingpodcast.blogspot.com.
That's a great resource.
Link that, and I'll actually put it on our sidebar with all the blogs.
Oh, good idea.
Because, she's got not just video podcasts, but she's got every podcast you could imagine.
Yeah,
and
like
she
craft
updates it.
blogs, and it's cool.
She updates it frequently. So.
And I got a wonderful PM on Ravelry from Jeffner77. Congratulations again, Jeffner. And that made my day too. It was great. Everybody, thank you. It's nice to know that we have people other than my mom. Although, hi Mom, watching this. All right, so let's
start with on the dance card.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
You go? Okay,
Yeah,
you go.
I don't have much on my dance card, and you'll see why later, but I do have. It's called a solid granny square. It's my foray into crocheting, and let me just tell you, joining is a pain in the butt. If anyone has a better way or a tutorial to help me do this, I can do all the 4 sides, but joining them is really a pain in the butt. And yeah, I was thinking of doing a whole bunch of several squares, but yeah, I don't want to do that circle again. So I'm just going to make this a big old butt
Just
granny
keep
square,
going
which
big.
I've done before. So I'm really
My very
enjoying this.
first project that I ever crocheted was I just kept going on a granny square.
Yeah.
It's
And
fun.
I've looked, there's tutorials out there, but the YouTube ones are like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right, I'm not that fast. So my foray into a granny square is
Hey,
just
good
acrylic
job.
white and
I like
yellow.
it.
I
Very
like it. It was
pretty.
quick. I did this probably from 4 a.m. to about 6:30. So
Sheila has been up all night, FYI.
well, I had an hour and a half nap before we came over. So
I get here really early.
I can't really complain all that much. So.
Is that all on your
That's
dance
all,
card?
that's all on my dance card.
Yeah, mine's not much better. First of all, here's my traveling sweater. This is a crocheted strip.
I'm gonna
I
pull
know,
that out.
I'm going to have to put some more stitches on. This is a crocheted strip.
Chain.
There you go.
Sorry, I'm just.
What? I can't talk today.
I'm
Something's
just
wrong with me.
learning new.
Crocheted chain, which I'm going to use for the provisional cast on. It's Traveling Sweater by A. Karen Alfke. I talked about it last week, but here is a picture of the pattern. Traveling Sweater. And I'm doing it out of Valley Yarns Northfield from Webb's. This is the Webb's store brand of yarn. It's sort of a charcoal with
It almost looks brown on the computer.
it's heathered, yeah, I know. The lighting isn't very good for yarn. Wait, if I move it back a little. I can't
It's a
do
really,
this.
I know.
It's
It's a
charcoal.
really nice, pretty gray.
It's charcoal gray with, it's heathered looking. And it is 70% merino, 20% alpaca, and 10% silk. It comes to, I know it's nice, 124 yards to the skein. It's the Northfield line of Valley Yarns. And this is the one that I got at Webb's. I got it in the warehouse. I think it was $4.99 or $5.99 a skein in the warehouse. I clubbed in with Diane and Oz. Hi, Diane. And we got the 25% off discount. So I think I paid maybe $60 for an entire sweater's worth of yarn. And this sweater eats yarn. I think it's like 20. I had to get 2,500 yards.
Yeah, it was a large amount.
I'm a little freaked out because I just got finished knitting something in sock yarn on size 3 needles, and I was looking forward to this sweater only to find out that the recommended needle is size 3.
Yeah.
So I'm still doing it because I really want this sweater for Germany, although if it's in size 3, I don't know if I'm going to finish it by May 6th.
Now, do you do gauges? Swatches?
Well, I'm going to just start knitting. That'll be my swatch. I'm a pretty average knitter. Unlike Sheila. Sheila's a really tight knitter.
I've actually gotten looser. Well,
Relatively
in my
speaking.
knitting. In my knitting. Well, no, I was on a too small of a needle on that one.
I'm pretty average. I can almost always get the recommended gauge with the recommended yarn on the recommended needles. I hardly ever have to go up or down
You're
a needle
a boring
size.
knitter.
I know. No. No. I am an expert knitter. Anyway, so I'll be casting that on when I get home today. I was going to try to, I crocheted the provisional cast on chain before I came here, but I couldn't get it done. So that's one thing. I'm also resurrecting a work in progress. It is the Summer's End sweater by Heather
really pretty.
Sapp. Let's see if I can, there it is. It's on Ravelry, it's free. And her website is overbrewedknits.org if you want to look at her website. And I'm doing it in Dream in Color Classy and the Cool Fire colorway. It's 100% merino. Here's the body of this sweater. I don't know if you can see it. I think I was really, what do you call it, inspired by the color of the sweater and the pattern because I really wanted to do it.
What color?
Cool Fire. Cool
Okay,
Fire.
because didn't I do a baby sweater in this?
You may have.
I
Yeah,
might
I
have.
think you did. Cool Fire. Unfortunately, I think the lace pattern looks like bugs. So it kind of
It's
bothers
supposed to
me.
look like leaves.
I don't know what it's supposed to look like, but I think it looks like scarab beetles. Not that that's a bad thing. But I have, this is the whole body. It might be really big because I made the largest size and I've lost about 25 pounds. And then I have almost a whole sleeve done. So, yeah, and I literally, I have like 3 inches left to do the sleeve. So, I'm going to work on this too. I'm going to work on the traveling sweater and see if I see how fast that's going. And this might be my
Germany
project to bring. But if the traveling sweaters go too slow, I'll finish this one. So that's what I have on the dance card for today. Rate your date. We both have dates to rate this time.
Well, my goal last week was to finish all my On the Needles, and I did, pretty much. Actually, yeah, I did. So this is the Pinkerton shawl by Pinkerton is by Susan Dittrich and Woolmeyer Schwartz. I did this on US size 5, which is 3.75 millimeters. It calls for like 450 yards. Yeah, I used way more than that. I did it on size 5, but I did get gauged before blocking. But shawls never really count. It's really, really pretty. I mean, it's a basic.
She still has a couple ends to tuck in.
Yeah.
That's what this weird thing in the middle is.
Woolmeyer's had a knot in it, and I know standard is 3.
3 or less.
3 or less. So I can't complain. It just kind of threw me for a loop. So it's really, really pretty. And
yeah,
soft.
I like it. It's very soft. I like the way Woolmeyer's feels after you wash it. I'm not a big fan of the Woolmeyer's base. Bizarrely, I'm going to the Woolmeyer's store, but I love her colors, and just the base isn't my favorite, but it does wash up really nice.
Yeah, it came out really nice.
Yeah,
and
I think
this,
that's
I don't
beautiful.
know if you remember, was, and it's curling a little bit, but where this was curling quite a bit. I mean,
Yeah.
it curled up at least half of it, and it blocked out really nice.
Good. That's good. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Good
now I
job.
just gotta,
How would you rate that one?
It was easy and mindless. The short rows, I learned how to do socks with short row heels. My first sock was Wendy Knits Toe Up with short row heels before she got into the slip stitch heel. So I became a master with short rows. I didn't mind it. Once you got to the lace, it did move quick. Again, I luck out in the sense that I work overnight and I answer phones, and when I'm not answering phones, I knit. So basically it's a good 7 hours straight of knitting and watching video podcasts. Yeah.
That's what she does.
And that's what I do. This is Claudia.
I am so
MJ
excited how
Kim.
this came out.
If you recall, it was this color last week. I dyed it brown by using coffee.
Can you believe that? Coffee. It came out great.
So we'll get into that later on in the show.
Yeah, because today is a good day to dye.
It kind of smells like coffee.
It smells good. I kind of want to eat it. It smells like hazelnut coffee.
It is hazelnut coffee.
It's hazelnut. Oh, the hazelnut hat. I love it. That's what I want for my birthday. It smells really good. Good job.
Hopefully my brother will enjoy it as well. And then the last thing, it's not technically finished. So if you're my swap partner on Rebecca Knits,
Close your eyes.
Pyslock, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it, but it's P-S-Y-L-O-C-K-E. Go away.
Psylocke.
Psylocke? Oh,
Yes.
all right.
P-S-Y. Psy.
Sorry.
I don't know.
So this is Harold, the houseplant monster.
But look what she did to him.
I dyed it with Kool-Aid.
And she tie-dyed
And
it.
I tried to tie-dye it. It was supposed to be 3 colors, but yeah, don't use dark purple if you're trying to use yellow. I've done it before.
Tip
but
to the
think,
wise.
Yeah. So this is his body.
I love him.
I
I
like
think
him.
that's really
I think
cool.
he came out good. This is one little foot.
He smells good too.
Yes, he smells like Kool-Aid.
He smells like grape.
This is the other little foot. I did an elastic tie-dye on that one.
That's cute. I like it.
And these are his little hands. It's still wet.
I know it is a little wet.
Sorry.
Very pretty. I like it.
The thumbs were a little awkward to do, so.
But we're going to talk a little more about dyeing
Yes.
during the gossip and innuendo section of our show, because it's something that we do for fun every once in a while. We're not professionals
Right.
or anything.
So anyways, my Claudia, definitely 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, I'm going to try that.
The off-white really looks nice. It looks kind of Irish cable-y.
Yeah, like
looking.
one of those
I
big
always
Irish
like an off-white.
sweaters.
So that was great. Harold will be done again someday. He was cool. I might do it again in white. And
When
just
is that due?
Soon. I might do them again and just do striping or something, but now
My
you're
hair
doing
looks
it.
weird. No, my hair looks weird.
I also finished my test knit, but I can't talk about it, I think next week, so I'll show it to you there.
Oh, that's cool.
So Harold was done on US 5, 3.75 milliliters, sorry. Claudia was done on US 4 for the pattern, right here, and then you switch to US 6 and go up. I think, and what I've read on other Ravelry project pages, a lot of people did US 6 all the way up. Again, where I'm a tight knitter, I might do US 5 and then US 7. It would give me just a little bit more room.
It's really pretty. I love the color. It's almost like an ochre color. It's really nice. What is this?
My hair.
Oh. I look kind of badass in this.
If it was in black, you'd be awesome.
I look like a biker.
It's
really
my brother
cute.
will like it.
Oh, I think
it's
he'll
not
love
quite
it.
the brown that he was expecting, but
it's good though, and I love how it smells really yummy. So is that it?
That's it for my rate my dates. If that wasn't enough, I mean, it was a plethora of finished objects.
Well, my first main thing is I finished the Vegas shawl. It was in alpaca yarn HT Packapeds.
It's cute.
You can see it. You can see kind of the fuzz on it against the black from my sweater. And one little interesting fact is you bind off using an applied I-cord. I can't really see it.
Now, does the applied I-cord supposed to help it from rolling?
I think it does. It also gives a really nice finished edge, but man, it took me like 3 hours to do because it's like knitting 3 rows. I mean, I had to knit 3 over and over and over again to get the applied edge, but I do think that it's kind of pretty. And it's not huge. I blocked it pretty aggressively to give it some drape. It makes a nice little neckerchief type shawl. I'm probably going to give it to my mother-in-law who likes blue and green. And I used 2 different colors of yarn. It's kind of hard to tell though because you can see the stripe. It looks like the horizon up on the top, but it blends in pretty well with the rest of the shawl.
And that was?
This was about 450 yards of the Packapeds, and let me show you how much I had left over.
Wasn't that a loopy U though?
That was the Spring Forward, the loopy U. Okay. I had this much left over. I probably could have gotten like 1 more row before I started the bind off, but I was nervous that I was going to run out. So I did that. I would rate that, that's a definitely I would do again project. It was a lot of fun. The slip stitch on the slip stitch ribbing kept the middle section from being really like insane making. And the little leafy things were fun. The only thing that I would change, I did this in a size 3. The pattern doesn't recommend a needle size. I used fingering weight. The pattern's written so you can do it in any weight. So that's also good if you want to make a shawl out of some other weight of yarn. You could use this pattern. I took a look on the project thing to see what other people were using for fingering weight before I cast on. I think it was 3 people used a size 4 needle. 4 people used a size 3, and a couple of people used 6, 7, and 8. I didn't like how loose the fabric was on 6, 7, and 8. It wasn't for me. I wanted it to be a little denser, so I went with a 3. I kind of wish that I'd gone with a 4. I think I did get some nice drape out of it when I blocked it, but I had to block it really aggressively. So, yeah, if I knit it again, I'm going to go up higher. And this is a great project for people who hate purling because it's almost all knit. Like you hate purling.
I'm getting better. I mean, look at this.
I know, that was pretty good. So, yeah, I rate this 2 thumbs up. I would definitely knit it again. And here's my secret knitting, which I made it for you, Sheila.
Aww.
Now, can you tell what it is?
No.
You knew. My husband thought that this was a monster from Rebecca Danger. I was like, no, it's an owl.
Does that have a knitted owl with it? As a part of the pattern?
No, I'm going to tell you about the pattern. This is called Woohoo Owls. And the funny thing was, I decided last week, here you go. I decided last week I was going to crochet her an owl. Isn't he cute? I know. Well,
wash your hands after this.
Oh, believe me, I did that in an hour and a half last night. I was like, I got to finish by tomorrow.
It almost looks like a mini acorn bag.
I know. That's what I was thinking when I knit it up. Isn't he cute? I was planning on doing an owl for her because I couldn't give her anything from my yarn crawl prize of last week. And there was a pattern in Seriously Cute Crochet, the amigurumi book that I talked about last week. But then it was like Providence. I'm going through the new patterns and Woohoo Owls came up by Sus74. It's a free pattern, crocheted owls. I love how she does them in the variegated colors.
Yeah.
I didn't have enough owl-like colors in my acrylic stash, so I just did them brown. But I really enjoyed this. I did him in a 4mm hook, which is the USG. It took me about an hour and a half, including all the making up, to do it. It was really, really fast. I would totally knit one of the more of the colored versions the next time. Crochet. Why do I keep saying that? Thank you. Crochet. I would totally crochet in different colors next time, and I would get some of those owl eyes. They have these owl eyes.
Oh, yeah.
What's the name of that store?
Well, there's two stores that are really good. The Rebecca Danger group swears by 6060, which is on Etsy.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Which I think I've purchased some eyes from. But the other place I've purchased eyes from is Suncatcher.com.
Oh, right.
We'll link
That's
those
the other
bowls.
one.
They have a bunch of eyes. And
you can actually get eyes that are yellow like owl eyes. And I wish that I had some. These eyes I just got from Joanne Fabric, and they were in my stash. I know. And so I was thinking you can have that, or if you have somebody who likes owls, you could give that to them.
Yeah. I'll put them with my other owl over there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So anyway, that was fun. I enjoyed doing that. I think I might try to squeeze in some amigurumi every once in a while, because they're just a lot of fun. Although, I can't even believe my husband thought, he's like, is it a monster?
Well, it's funny because there's a pattern that I want to knit for my swap monster for the monster. It's an owl because she likes owls. And again, if you're Psylocke, go away. No. But the design is very similar to that. It's got a knitted pattern and a crochet pattern.
I think I saw that one.
And it goes up. So this was, you didn't do any increases in any which way, right? For the ears?
No, what she does is she does different, you do, this is just a slip stitch closure, but you do a half double crochet here. And I have not done a half double crochet in so long, I had to look at a YouTube video to remind myself. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what it is. That too. So yeah, hour and a half, definitely a thumbs up. Very cute little pattern. I think if you did it in a smaller or larger weight, you could totally adjust the size of the bird. And she tells you how you can make the beak and the wings bigger or smaller if you wanted them. I kind of I thought they were really cute. I like them curly like this. Like he's like, woohoo, woohoo owl. So anyway, yeah, that was it for my dates. Future dates. You got anything?
Maybe my slippers. I'm not sure. A pair of socks perhaps. Or finish my Saroyan, which I should probably do, or at least knit on it. So it feels some love.
Oh, yeah.
I should probably at least do that.
Well, my big plan is to finish working up a pattern. I made a crocheted scarf 2 or 3 years ago that I called the Modified Queen Anne's Lace Scarf. I'd seen the Queen Anne's Lace bookmark, and I liked the way that it looked. And I'd seen some... At the time, there weren't any free patterns, I think, for Queen Anne's. I can't really remember. But anyway, I thought, well, I could just pick another stitch from my crochet stitch book and do something. So I used crusted wave edging stitch from one of my stitch books, and I improvised a scarf out of it in this really pretty green cotton. It looks like curly lettuce. It was really pretty. And I got a lot of comments on Ravelry from people wondering if they could have the pattern, of course. I can't find the original scarf.
Oh, no.
I know the stitch that I used. So I think it was 2 years ago I started writing it up. You can tell how on top of this I am. And I think I'm definitely going to finish writing it up and maybe put up a pattern. I have some, I did buy some yarn to do the scarf last time, 2 years ago when I was knitting it up. And the pattern's like half written. So I'm going to work on that. Crochet. Okay, every time I say knit, clearly I just mean crochet. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's like I have knitting on the brain. So yeah, I'm going to try to get that done maybe by next week. It depends on how crazy that traveling sweater is, because I really want to finish that before I go to Germany, and I only have a month.
I think you can do it.
I probably can. Usually
Yeah.
I can knit a sweater in a couple of weeks, but it's on size 3.
Yeah, but it's all knit, isn't it?
No, it's ribbed.
Oh.
It's gonna be bad. I'm gonna be complaining about this sweater the whole time. Just be ready.
Then.
So yeah, that's on my future date. That's all I got right now. That and the stuff that I'm gonna be working on.
I'll be looking through Ravelry, so any enablers, please do enable.
Yeah, post
because I have really no definite plans, and I'm not joining any more swaps right now. Because actually, what I need
always says that, and
no
she
more
always
test knits
does.
from the test knitting group.
I'll believe
if
it
somebody
when I
comes
see
to me and
it.
asks me to test knit, I will certainly do that. But the end of school year is going to be coming up in a couple of months, and I got to think about what I'm going to do for the teachers. Maybe a bookmark.
Hey, the Queen Anne's
well,
lace bookmark is really nice.
And either knitted or crochet. I got tons of teachers to do. My youngest is on an IEP, and he's got a lot of staff that's involved with him.
Fortunately, at my school, all the parents club in, so I just have to give $10 to 2 people, and somebody else is responsible for mine because that's the kind of involved parent I am. I don't make
to knit. I usually knit like a bag. For summer, I either knit a bag or a bookmark or something to do with summer.
Yeah, those market bags are nice.
Yeah. I got a ton of hemp too. Maybe I'll do
you can make market bags.
And then Christmas is usually something warm and woolly and fun. But, yeah,
so, let's see. Crushes and heartbreaks.
I have, as usual, nothing.
Nothing?
Well, I mean, the dying, but that's going into the gossip and other things. So.
I have crushes and heartbreaks. I have a crush. I don't have a heartbreak.
I have a heartbreak, but I can't
tell you
talk about it yet. Sorry, my hair is just everywhere.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to tell you about my crush. I have this weird thing that my friends know about. I love sock monkeys, like you wouldn't believe. So
like every other knitter in this place.
I know. I thought I would bring some of my sock monkey stuff just to show you. So the first thing, these are my sock monkey slippers. They're by Nick and Nora. I got them at Target. Aren't they cute? I wear them outside. They have rubber soles.
They got dog hair all over them.
Yeah, well, no, that's cat hair.
Oh.
And a feather.
Oh.
They were in my bedroom. So, yeah, I was going to put them on for the show, but I forgot that I had them in the bag. So,
and the fact that also you don't see our feet.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to wear them because...
let's lift up.
Because your floor is cold. And then I have a bunch of sock monkey bags from Starlet. Stella made them, our friend. Hi, Starlet Stella. This one has blue monkey on the inside and monkey faces. That's one of them. Another one. This one has a project in it.
One she probably hasn't touched in a long time.
One that I'm going to rip out. I love that. That one has the alphabet monkeys. You can kind of see it on the inside. And then I have blue monkeys, which is very cute. That one has bananas on the inside. And you can see another project that I already have written that was frogged, but I haven't actually frogged it.
I remember that one. And
then my friend, Starlet Stella, who clearly is my sock monkey enabling friend, gave me this gorgeous yarn last Christmas. It's from Hank's Yarn and Fiber. Perhaps today is a good day to dye superwash merino sock in the sock monkey colorway, which I'm totally loving. I think I might use this to do one of these projects.
Ooh.
Rebecca Danger. It's like, see, this week it was like pattern mania for me. Rebecca Danger just came out with, I think his name is Jerry the Musical Monkey. Isn't he cute? I could do him in sock monkey yarn. Wouldn't that be awesome?
It would be cute.
So you can pick up this pattern on her Etsy store or through Ravelry. I picked one up, of course. Not that I needed one because I already had Mr. Ben buy 2 old bags. Here's another picture on the back. This is a pay pattern that I ordered through my local yarn store, Butterfly Yarns. Hi, Kim.
All right, can I just stick in a side note here? If anyone watches Knit Views, because like I said, I watch every one of them, she did a sock monkey, and it might have been that pattern, but I'm not exactly sure. And she was just following it, and she didn't realize that it ended up being literally this big. I mean, my hand is below. It was huge because she did it in worsted weight, and it called for like an obscene amount of yarn. That's on her. I don't know what episode, but it was really funny.
So for all you viewers out there, if anybody knows of any cool sock monkey, I know this is really nice. Sock monkey knitting stuff, sock monkey jewelry. Ooh, I would be all about that. Sock monkey clothing. I have sock monkey pillowcases and pajamas. I didn't bring them because I thought that was a little too crazy, but I really love sock monkeys.
Monkey stitch markers.
I know. I've always looked for some. I don't want some that are too giant, but I would love sock monkey stitch markers. So put it in the comments or email me if you have any sock monkey love to share, because I am all about the sock monkeys.
That's cute.
I know, I love it. So that's my crush. Sock monkeys are my crush. Let's see.
Baubles and bling?
Baubles and bling. Do you have anything?
Please. No.
I have baubles and bling. I have to dig around in my bag.
As Per said, I'm on a yarn diet.
This is from our yarn crawl.
Oh, yeah.
This is from Haya Haya. It's a stitch marker. Look at this.
Looks like a little dumpling.
It's like a little silk dumpling.
just vomited
out the stitch markers. They're so cute. They're rainbow colors. They look like little balls of yarn. Aren't they cute? Here's all of them. I don't know if I can show them.
Throw them up.
This is hard. This is
Let me see.
There, I got them. There we go. The red one got away. They came with really big loops on them, but adjustable, interchangeable loops if you want to use them on even bigger.
What are they, jump rings they call them?
Jump rings, so it's really easy to get them on and off. And they all live in the little satin dumpling or fortune cookie. I don't know what to call it.
I call it a dumpling.
Hello. I love them, and I was going to show them with the yarn crawl stuff. I got them at Loom with a View in Newburyport. And I couldn't find them, and I blamed their loss on my small children, only to notice a couple of weeks ago that they were in the bag of things that I brought to the show, and I just didn't see them. So yes, my children did not steal these.
She did a daddy look.
I did a daddy look. I did. A man look. I totally did a man look.
Come on, all moms, you know what we're talking about.
Yes. So,
actually, anyone who's got a boyfriend or a husband knows what we're talking about.
I love how they are adjustable sizes. I don't use stitch markers very much, but every once in a while when you have to know where the center of something is, I do use them. So I can't wait to try them out. Maybe I'll need to use them on the traveling sweater, which in my mind I'm starting to call the sweater of doom already. I haven't even cast it on.
Which means you're what are you fading yourself?
I'm fading myself to hate this
positive
project.
Positive thoughts.
All right, that's it for my baubles and bling though, because haven't bought much.
Yeah, I'm
lately.
looking into buying something.
I gotta save my pennies for wool knives.
I comboed somebody on Etsy regarding some stitch markers. Me, on the other hand, use stitch markers like they're going out of style.
She does.
Because if I'm doing a shawl and it's got repeats, each repeat has its own little stitch marker so that I can catch any mistake before I even go on beyond that.
Mine always fall off, and then there's like, I have a whole bunch, and then there's a space where there's none. And
No.
Well,
because I'm more, I don't know.
We're hitting the 33-minute mark.
All right.
We better do
Sorry.
dyeing for our gossip and innuendo.
Okay. So our gossip and innuendo is dyeing and the various ways to dye yarn. So this was an experiment.
That smells really good.
My brother wanted brown yarn. I don't own the acid dyes, mainly because I have 2 young children. I cannot afford having separate pots and pans.
You do need to have separate utensils for acid dyeing.
I did this with what there's a website for it on how to dye. It's actually eHow, and I'll link that in the show notes on how to dye with coffee. And I think I switched it to the wrong page.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, okay. I didn't write it down.
eHow.com.
eHow.com for dyeing with coffee. You basically make an extra strong pot of coffee. you use vinegar. Vinegar is the key to anything that you're going to dye.
Vinegar
you need
will
an
help
acid.
the acid helps set the color into the cloth, and also you need to dye on an animal fiber.
Yes.
Cotton. Do you remember?
You
the
need
cotton?
specific dyes for cotton. I think the RIT dyes work well for cotton.
You have, but the kind of dyeing that we're talking about really needs to be on an animal fiber.
So I dyed this. It recommends that you heat it for like a half an hour to 60 minutes, depending on how dark you want. Don't boil it. This actually is Peruvian wool. That's my phone, sorry. Peruvian wool by Knit Pig's Bear. This held up really well. It doesn't look like it felted.
No, it came out good.
And then the very next night, I used the pot to make stuffing in it.
Are you going to answer that?
No, I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to have to leave the frame.
There we go.
I don't know who it could have been. Sorry about that.
Do you want to go see who it might have been?
If it's important, they'll call again. If they call again, then I'll answer.
If they call again, we're going to have to stop and start up again.
Sorry. So the very next night, I used the same pot to make stuffing in it.
Right, because it's non-toxic.
So that's...
Did you have to boil that?
They said to heat it, not boil.
Okay.
For 30 to 60 minutes, like on the slight end of boiling. And then to cool, to rinse it with the same temperature water.
It came out a really pretty color. I like it.
It kind of reminds me of like camel almost, or
like a dark camel.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you something because I don't have any yarn that's dyed this way, but I also do rug hooking with wool strips.
It's a voicemail.
And you can't see the variegation in this very well.
That was with.
I dyed this with Nest tea. It's called tea dyeing. You boil the wool, but in rug hooking you want the wool to be felted, so it's a different process. But I just bought a big old container of Nest tea from Walmart, and you put a ton of it in the water to get it the color that you want, and just throw the stuff in, and it gives you sort of this pale. This is almost a pale camel. Yeah, you can see the copies.
A darker
camel, and this is more of a creamy camel. So that's another way you can dye without using the toxic dyes.
And obviously the other way is with Kool-Aid, which we have very This is done with the Knit Picks Superwash Fingering Weight Wool skein of yarn. This, my 10-year-old, he didn't do it when he was 10, a couple years ago, dyed this.
We had a dyeing party with our kids.
With red and orange, and my 7-year-old dyed this rainbow colors. I've made them socks with these since, and these are my leftovers. I've also been in a couple of sock blank swaps where you take a Knit Picks blank and you dye it. These have been given to me. I haven't done any to show you. So this is the blank itself. I think this was my most recent one, which I actually love.
Oh, that's
I love them all. And then I have another one that Wendy helped me ball because I'm going to make it. You can't really...
It's orange and blue
and pinks, and I think this is going to be a set of wristlets.
Yeah, that'll be pretty.
So I've done a bunch of these, and they're so much fun. And again, the reason we like Kool-Aid is because they're kid-friendly. That was done with Kool-Aid?
This is a Kool-Aid one that I did with grape, and you can see the different colors. And my mother knit just a plain old kid's tube sock out of it.
It's just very kid-friendly, where the kids can play with the dye, and the worst that they get, and you can't even see, is a little Kool-Aid on their fingers.
And it smells really good.
It smells really good. Oh, about the Kool-Aid, the way I set the Kool-Aid is in a microwavable dish.
Yeah.
And you
wrap it in some saran wrap
when you're painting it, or
and you even steam it in saran wrap. Do you remember? And another way is you can heat up a pot of water and put a colander on the top and lay your dyed article wrapped up in the saran wrap in the colander and let the water steam heat it. But it's when you use Kool-Aid, you can do it right in the microwave. This is something that I made with acid dyes. We had a dyeing party at my house a couple years ago.
It's pretty.
Yeah, it's brown and blue. My mom made another tube sock. A lot of my hand-dyed yarn, this is all Knit Picks base. A lot of my hand-dyed yarn I gave to my mom because the base from Knit Picks isn't something that I like to knit with. I have this weird thing about the yarn base. We'll talk about that in another episode. So I gave a lot of my hand-dyed, I love dyeing the yarn, I just don't like to knit with the base, to my mom, and she makes these little tube socks. I did bring some samples to show people. Everybody knows what Kool-Aid looks like.
Oh, I have that, yeah. Actually, no. Just in case.
Sheila has Kool-Aid.
I do. Just so you know, when you're dyeing with Kool-Aid, you want to use these packets. These are the dye, the food coloring.
Without the sugar in it.
No sugar. You don't want to use any sugar. So it's these little packets. I used to have a small grocery store that had various colors. They're limiting on them. I don't know how easily accessible these are anymore. I think you can get them online.
Anytime I see them in the store, if they have green or blue,
grab them because they're very hard to find.
Because you can find a lot of red and orange and purple, but
yellow.
Green and blue is hard.
It is.
Like there's like a cool berry or something. And like Nestea or just any kind of coffee.
Yeah, I used a blend of hazelnut and regular to do my coffee. Great. And
if you get more adventurous, I used to dye wool for my rug hooking. So I started out with Cushing dyes. These are poisonous, so anything that you use to dye them with. I went to a bunch of antique stores in Essex, Massachusetts. They have a huge antique town. And I bought about 5 or 6 enameled pots. Enameled pots are great. The white enameled ones are the best because you can see if the water's cleared yet when you're dyeing.
Yeah.
But I also bought a bunch of packets of Cushing Perfection dyes. They look like this. I'm not going to open them up because I have a whole bunch of them. So I'm not going to open them up because I don't want to get the dye on my hands because it is poisonous if you get too much contact with it. You need to use gloves with it. So you need enameled pots, you need gloves, if you use tongs or anything that you use has to be only for the dye.
Right.
And you do use vinegar to set this too.
Oh, okay.
You can get Cushing dyes for $2.95 a packet at W. Cushing and Company. They have a website that Sheila will link to. They also sell all of the dyeing equipment you need. Most people that dye yarn that I know, most people that dye rug hooking wool use Cushing. I don't know why. Most people that dye yarn seem to use the jacquard dyes. I got this kit from Knit Picks. Knit Picks is carrying them right now for $21.99. You get 6 basic dye colors. And jacquard dye comes in a little container like this.
A little powder.
It's like powder. I have dye spoons that I bought from Cushing that tell me how much dye to put in. There are a lot of websites out there. We can't even link them. There are so many, but there are a lot of websites out there that will give you ratios and recipes.
Oh.
So if you don't know how to mix the colors yourself, I took painting and art in college, so I'm pretty good at eyeballing the colors and mixing them to get what I want.
And the reason that looks like it is.
and so. But not everybody has that knowledge of how to mix colors. So there are a lot of things out there. And so those two are poisonous and you will have to invest in some equipment. I have a third one. I know I've talked about the Still River Mill trip until you want to shoot me. But they have come out with something that they're calling greener shades. It has the brilliance of an acid dye like jacquard or Cushing, but it is non-hazardous. I'll read you the little blurb from the website. Greener shades, they have a starter kit with 9 colors, and you set it with citric acid. And it costs $34.95, and you can get an ebook of formulas with their dyes to help you pick the right colors for only $4.95. Download it.
Nice.
And what they say, Greener Shades is a non-hazardous, non-chrome dye for use on silk, wool, nylon, or any animal fiber. Formulated without the use of hazardous metals, Greener Shades provides all the wash fastness and light fastness of traditional acid dye without relying on metal compounds to achieve bright and beautiful colors. So you can get their home dyer kits. That's something cool to check out. If Sheila doesn't link Still River, it's linked a couple of times in our project notes. But, so that's kind of like the middle ground. You've got the low-tech, inexpensive food dyes.
Low-tech.
And you've got the high-tech, dangerously poisonous acid dyes, which I have done. I have a whole thing. And then you can get the greener shades. And I may try that out this summer.
Kool-Aid is a good thing if you want to dabble in doing some dyeing just for your own personal use.
I think starting out with those
Knit Picks is reasonable price. Actually, you can use any off-white or white wool.
Right.
Michael's, AC Moore, any of those Hobby Lobbies or
Patents,
anything.
you could get patents.
Cream
colored
Lion
patents.
Brand, Fisherman's Wool.
Yep.
Any bear wool. Any bear color, like non-dyed wool.
And I didn't even think of this. I haven't personally used this, but you can also dye with Wilton's food coloring.
And the
little regular food coloring that you buy in the supermarket.
You need acid. You need
vinegar. Vinegar is, and if you ever have wool that bleeds, when you wash it, throw a little cup of vinegar in there and that'll set it.
Yeah.
I do that sometimes. Every once in a while I get a skein of yarn that bleeds. Just that I buy from the store, and I always throw a little cup of vinegar.
And I'm always in for having the kids help out a little bit. It makes it more exciting for them. So.
It was a fun summer activity. We had 3 moms and 6 kids, and we dyed yarn, and we let the kids help us. And then we let them dye cotton T-shirts, which is how we learned the heartache of you cannot dye cotton with Kool-Aid. So moms, be warned. Don't. It looked really great when it first got done, but it came out in the laundry.
So I have a couple of links for where you can find tutorials on how to dye Kool-Aid. The Jacquard I'll link to knitpicks.com, and the coffee I'll link to the eHow, and I'll do the Still River Mills. So
yeah, Nitty has a huge Kool-Aid tutorial, so yeah, I think that's how we started out.
Yeah, Nitty, what's cool about Nitty, cool, sorry.
I didn't get it at first. I'm like,
that was not intended, sorry. Anyways, so what's cool about Nitty is they have they had taken a bunch of little skeins and did all the colors that they could find, and you get to see what the colors look like before you actually do it yourself.
Yeah, it's cool. Finding other people who've done the work to do the formulas is awesome because it takes a lot of the fun out of the process. There
is a couple of groups on Ravelry about dyeing with Kool-Aid or sock blanks, not necessarily Kool-Aid, but there's a sock blank dyeing club, not just swapping, but so.
All right.
And
that was fun. Yeah, dyeing is fun.
It is fun.
It's a good day to dye.
And it smells. It smells good.
So I think that's it. Right?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah. You can reach us at knit1heart2@gmail.com. And that's the number 1 and TOO.
Or you can watch us on our blog, knit1, the number 1, heart2, TOO.blogspot.com.
And we recently joined Plurk.
Yes.
We are Knit1 Heart2 on Plurk, Knit1 Heart2 on Plurk, but we have one account for both of us.
Yeah, because we're Plurk.
We're social network dorks. The only thing I know how to do is Facebook, and that's just to play games.
But since Bitch and Becky plurked, we thought, wow, Plurk, we could do that. So thank you, Bitch and Becky.
So anyone who wants to be friends with us, it's Knit1 Heart2 TOO. Any suggestions on how to use it would be great, because I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, I have no idea.
We're going to work on that this week. And we have a group that we started a couple years ago on Ravelry called the Crafty Bus.
Come join us.
Come join us. We hang out there. We're all trying to knit from stash this year, and it's a bunch of weird people that are great. Cool, weird people that are great.
2 right here.
I'm weird. I am sorry.
So...
I don't even know what I'm saying.
Thanks for watching us.
Oh, and we're on iTunes.
Yes.
Thank you, iTunes viewers.
iTunes, yes. A big difference with iTunes, yes.
We like iTunes.
We love iTunes. Cool. That's how I find
So you can find us on iTunes, too. Just search for
Knit1 Heart2. Again, TOO with the number 1.
Ooh, look how long we are this week. Sorry, Tara.
No, actually, it's not that bad.
I know.
So, knit with heart.
Knit with heart.
Knit with heart.
We'll catch you later.
Bye.
We're out.